Hey guys, good evening. RB here. It's been a long. We have you know talked about the long-term charts and been busy and kind of trying to work these moves and try to make as much as benefit we can out of this rally, right? So I think it's time to kind of just look at overall where we are and what are the possibilities. In my Substack and Discord, I've been sharing my expectations for SPX to reach that 5980 6,000 level for quite some time, and we came in pretty close. It was 59 about 695970, right, where I was looking at a little bit higher here into 5990 5980, around that number, right? So missed by a few points, and I was also sharing that while we're getting close to that, I do not see any potential in holding swing longs. If you want to scalp, that's fine, but otherwise, the expectation is that it'll drop back to 5864, or below that we can see lower numbers as well, like 5825 or 5844, somewhere around here. And if that doesn't hold as well, then the last line for bulls is 5785, right? So far, I mean, whatever happened today was pretty much in line with the expectations. This plan was shared yesterday on X and been shared in Discord today and yesterday as well. The VIX is at 17. We expect a bounce to 20.42. That's where it exactly went to, and a little bit higher at close. That was our key level, which was tested as well. And we got the downside that we were looking at, though it was really terrible chop for the last day, and then all of a sudden it dropped after the bond sale. Now, let's just review a little bit of a longer term structure here, right? Um, we know that the drop that happened from the previous top of 6150, it was a three wave down, right? There has been a considerations that we made in the past videos that whatever started here, though look like a very three wave bounce, right? But there was a consideration given that what if this was just a truncated leg of this correction, where it was like one, two, three, four, and five, and fifth got truncated, right? So that was just a assumption, right? There is no concrete proof or way to kind of figure out if that was truncated or not. But if we remove that consideration, we are looking at just a three waves up, right? So if this is three waves up, then what are the possibilities? What are we looking at, right? Well, we could be looking at this whole leg being just a corrective retracement of this drop. So we had a three wave drop. Probably we are having a three waves up, and when we start looking at counting this as three waves up, we are looking at A, B, and C. Has the C finished here, or will C finish here after one more leg? Right, that's something which we are working on, right? So, and that's why I wanted to go long today, that from this area we might just see a test sweeping the liquidity above this level, which was not tested as of now, right? And if I want to kind of break it down further on what sort of count I'm looking at, it's possible that we are looking at a double zigzag, where this was my first impulse leg, B down, ABC, second impulse leg. So that becomes one zigzag in itself, and then you had another ABC down. And when you're looking at this one, which moved very slowly, what we're looking at is possibly this is my one impulse as an AB, and this is my second impulse going on, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? So if I have to just mark it, the way I will be marking it is like this. So A, B, and C, right? And then I'm looking at marking this as another ABC, which is we have this A, B, and the C leg got extended, and it just keeps on going, right? And we have like five waves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So you can basically mark this whole thing as a double zigzag, right? A complex retracement, very common for these complex corrections, right? So that's one way of looking at it. And again, I'm looking at just one more high here in this price pattern, which what would mean is that that you will have this one last leg up, and then another drop starts. Now, if this is a flat, it could be a very sharp retracement, just like that, right? This is flat. A three wave up, three wave down, three wave up, and five waves down. So that's a flat. That's our the most bearish scenario at this point to be call that. What else could be happening here? What else could start with three waves and still be bullish, right? If we are looking at something like that, then we are possibly thinking about let's say maybe an leading diag. In this case, it will be an ending diag because we are looking at this to be the last wave here out of this whole thing, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So when we are looking at that sort of formation, what potentially could be happening here is that we are looking at this ABC being a wave 1, because an ending diagonal can have wave count as 3, 3, and 3, right? So what we will be potentially looking at is that this was my wave 1, 2. We potentially complete a 3 here as an ABC, like I explained. No difference in that one. Then we again get a correction. Now this correction could be a longer one, even if it starts from here or it just starts from here, right? Because in case of an ending diagonal, the 4 has to have an overlap with wave 1, right? And it comes here, and then we get one more leg last up to make a minor new high, and that would be it. Now, I'm not a big fan of this structure personally, so I've kept it as my third option when I'm looking at into whether this is a bullish structure, whether this is completely bearish, like I explained just right before, or this is something else going on, like a ending diagonal, right? The shape and the symmetry is quite odd at this point of time, this being very small and this being very long. I really don't like that for an ending diagonal, but you have to keep an open mind when it comes to markets. But coming to the point, so well, all I'm looking at right now is that this area holds. I get one more high here. Now, let's say even if it's a bullish structure going on, right? When I say bullish structure, I go back to the point where we say, okay, the correction finished here as a truncated leg. This was my 1, this was my 2, and now this was my 3 going on. If this was my 3 going on, now let's just count it in the bullish way. So you saw that whole B wave thing, you understood the ending diagonal and my reservation with that. What I'm looking at is a third wave up here, then a fourth here, may or may not close the gap, but here is just fine, and then another fifth one right up here, right? So that's another simple way of making those 5 waves up, right? And if we just look into how to count this internally, like we were just counting as an A, B, C because we just see 3 legs as of now, but then you will be simply start looking at, okay, 1, 2, a 3, sorry, that was 3, a 4, and a 5, right? So a fifth wave up here, above, and making a new high, and then you start dropping again back into the same range, and then you have a fifth wave, right? So instead of ending diagonal, I like this consideration much better, that this was my truncation, and I have this as you know as explained as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep going. So between this and the the other bearish pattern, those are kind of two of my choices as of now. All depends on what happens tomorrow with 5780 do we go there, or we just reverse overnight and start rallying up, right? Depends on that. Or if this becomes like a bearish from here itself, let's say nothing of this sort, but this is my bearish leg. This probably comes here, bounce back, and then we are looking at sell off to start after that, right? So there will be one bounce certainly from this level, but I do want to see how this whole thing ends up. Does it become an impulse? The other reason I was kind of ignoring an impulse as of now, as being a bearish pattern or the start of the bearish pattern, was majorly on the NDX or on the QQQ side, because this whole drop, it looked like a flat correction to me, right? So if you see there are like multiple triple top sort of a scenario, generally happens only when you are making a flat correction, which means there was an A leg, there was a B leg, and there was a C leg, right? So it should stop somewhere around in this area. On a QQQ, I gave 312 as a level. If there is a little bit further down, maybe it can go another few points. Let's look at from QQQ perspective, right? Already into that 312 level, started bouncing and all that kind of stuff. Looking at this, looked like a very flat structure rather than just in single impulse. So I did not want to count it that the top was in right here. Again, could it be some sort of truncation? Yeah, sure, why not? But I want to give it a chance that it's not gonna be that easy. That okay, the reversal started and we are going all the way down. While I think we still have an opportunity here that okay, another high is made. Once another high is made somewhere above this, probably getting into this area, right, 528-ish, right, then I think, we have a good drop from there back into the same area. Or if this is a B wave, then it's a B wave, then we are going all the way down back into those 4700, 4600 marks and numbers, and we kind of deal with it that way, right? So this is in short my few things that we are looking at. Probably this provides you the clarity that okay, either becomes something like this, or we bounce and go and come back from there again. What happens around this area will become our you know focal point, right? So a shallow bounce right here, probably look for shorts again, and then it comes down all the way, right? All right, so that's about it. Hope this helps, and thank you for watching. If you like the content, please do like and share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.